Hello and welcome. We are live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India, India's voice to the world. This is Express News. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. We'll start with the top story. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited Qatar, where he held bilateral meetings with Amir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad and other key dignitaries. Prime Minister Modi was also accorded a ceremonial welcome. This was PM Modi's second visit to Qatar. Prime Minister Modi was accorded a warm welcome by a large number of Indian diaspora in Doha on Wednesday. He later met his Qatari counterpart. The two leaders exchanged views on expanding bilateral cooperation in sectors such as trade, investment, energy, finance and technology. PM Modi departed for New Delhi after the conclusion of his visit to UAE and Qatar on Thursday. While addressing the media on PM Modi's visit to UAE and Qatar, Foreign Secretary Vinay Quatra said that the PM's visit to Doha consolidated the wide-ranging partnership that India and Qatar have across different fields of economic cooperation. Expressing his deep appreciation, Foreign Secretary Vinay Quatra said that they are extremely gratified to see 8 Indian nationals back in India. India's Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar attended the 125th Founders' Day celebration at the Hindu College of the University of Delhi in the national capital on Thursday. He extended his heartfelt congratulations to the alumni and also gave awards for academic excellence to the students. India's permanent representatives to India, Ruchira Kamboj, chaired the 62nd session of the Commission for Social Development held from 5th to 14th February. In a breakthrough for the session held under the chairmanship of India, 4 resolutions were successfully adopted, including a resolution on promoting care and support systems for social development. A 5-judge bench of India's apex court has stalled the electoral bond scheme, stating that it is in violation of the country's privacy laws and infringes upon the fundamental rights of the citizen. The Supreme Court of India has asked SBI to submit the details to the Election Commission of India and who shall publish these details on the website. India's space agency ISRO is all set to launch the GSLV-F-14 mission carrying the INSAT-3DS satellite from India's southern city of Sriharikota on Saturday. India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman launched 3 commemorative coins in Delhi. The coins are launched on the foundation day of the organization's Security Printing and Minting Corporation of India. A group of Indian Air Force personnel successfully executed comprehensive training in ground-based search, rescue and casualty evacuation in the challenging terrain of Zanskar Valley. In a major display of international cooperation, warships from the United States, Russia and Iran will join India in the upcoming Milan 2024 naval exercise scheduled from February 19 to 27. Metal Finishers Association of India has organized the 3-day conference and exhibition on surface finishing in Delhi. Nearly 100 reputed companies are showcasing their products and services and new technologies. Union Minister of State for External Affairs and Culture Meenakshi Lekhi addressed the International Inclusion Alliance Conference in New Delhi and said that India is at the center of inclusion. Goa CM Pramod Sawant, along with other cabinet ministers and ministers of Legislative Assembly, visited Ram Temple in Ayodhya, Uttar Pradesh. The Indian markets ended in green on Thursday. Sensex climbed 227.55 points to settle at 72,050.38 points. While Nifty was up 70.80 points to 21,910.80 points. Indian rupee falls 2 paise to close at 83.04 against the US dollar. Gold future maturing on 5th April stood at Rs 61,413 per 10 grams on Multi-Commodity Exchange of India Limited. Silver futures maturing on 5th March stood at Rs 70,561 per kg on the MCX. Japan loses its spot as world's 3rd largest economy to Germany after its economy shrank for 2 quarters in a row. The official data states the country's GDP contracted by a worse than expected 0.4% in the last 3 months of 2023 compared to a year earlier. Britain's economy also slipped into a recession during the latter part of 2023. This comes as a challenge for Prime Minister Rishi Sunak ahead of the national election later this year. The country's gross domestic product contracted by more than the anticipated 0.3% in the final 3 months of 2023, though the Bank of England is anticipating a slight improvement this year. US stocks closed higher on Wednesday, bouncing back after hotter than expected inflation data drove a sell-off and dashed hopes for interest rate cuts in early spring. New York City gets hit by heavy snowfall as a winter storm hammered the northeastern United States, causing traffic disruptions in the city and prompting public schools to move their classes online. The winter storm also prompted Westchester County in New York State to declare a local state of emergency. The heavy snowfall hampered visibility in the country. A series of heavy snowfall grips Massachusetts. Dashcam video captured the moment an ambulance swerved to avoid colliding with a vehicle rolling towards it. In eastern Turkey, dramatic dashcam footage showed vehicles reversing to escape a landslide near a gold mine as mounds of earth slipped down a hill and across the road. Rescue workers battled to find 9 workers trapped under earth after a landslide at a gold mine in eastern Turkey on Wednesday. The incident sparked a plunge of more than 50% in its Toronto-listed shares. Families in the fire-hit Chile reconstructs the houses they lost in the deadly fires that have taken the lives of 132 in central Chile. Chile's government said over 7,100 houses have to be rebuilt with an estimated overall enterprise cost of around $742 billion. A landslide in Davao de Oro province, Philippines has left around 85 dead and 38 missing. The landslide hit a mining area in Mako, burying homes, vehicles and dozens of people. Local authorities have ordered mandatory evacuations for 5 nearby villages, affecting over 5,000 people. Pollution levels in Thailand's capital Bangkok reached unhealthy levels on Thursday. It is 15 times higher than the recommended level by the World Health Organization, making it the world's 8th most polluted city. Indian Army Chief General Manoj Pandey reviewed the US Army Honor Guard on arrival at Fort Myers. He paid respects by laying a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier at the Arlington National Cemetery. Protesters gathered in Pakistan's Quetta for a sit-in to demonstrate against country's election results. Several people were struck by gunfire in Kansas City in Missouri, where a Super Bowl victory parade and celebration were taking place. 1 person was killed and 21 wounded in the Kansas City gunfire, where the NFL champion Chiefs were celebrating their Super Bowl victory. 3 people have been detained in connection with the Kansas City by the police. 4 Atlanta high school students were shot after a shooter opened fire from a vehicle into the parking lot at a high school. A woman was detained in connection with the incident. 1 person was killed and 5 others were injured after a vehicle drove into the emergency room at a Texas hospital. A dozen victims of Jeffrey Epstein filed a lawsuit accusing the FBI of covering up its failure to investigate the late financier, enabling his sex trafficking to continue for more than 20 years. White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan cautioned that adversaries have been keeping a close eye on a push for lawmakers to back a funding bill for Ukraine and Israel. The United States said it expects Israel to meet its commitment to allow a shipment of flour to be moved into Gaza. U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson said there was an unspecified serious national security threat, confirming a statement issued prior by House Intelligence Committee Chairman. U.S. House Speaker Mike Johnson said there was no need for public alarm because of the national security threat. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is set to reaffirm ties with Albania, a crucial partner in the Balkans, during his visit on Thursday. With a focus on bolstering relations, Blinken will meet top Albania's officials. Poland has appealed to the US Congress to adopt an aid package for Ukraine during a joint news conference with British Foreign Secretary David Cameron. Former US President Donald Trump said he is not going to protect NATO allies who failed to pay their fair share, reiterating a stance that has sparked sharp criticism from Western leaders. France said this year it will meet a NATO alliance target to spend 2% of its gross domestic product on defense. Japan said North Korea is strengthening its ability to mount a surprise missile attack, adding that it would work closely with the US and South Korea to monitor the situation. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un oversaw the test of a new surface-to-sea missile and visited a major munitions factory where he called for a boost in weapons production. Russian President Vladimir Putin said in an interview that he preferred Joe Biden to Donald Trump but was willing to work with any US president. Ukraine attacked a large Russian landing ship in the Black Sea on Wednesday. The assault came as top commanders visited frontline near Avdiivka and Kupiansk. Ukraine also repelled 29 attacks by Russia troops in Avdiivka. Vladimir Putin said he was surprised by a lack of sharp questions from US television host Tucker Carlson in an interview that made headlines around the world last week. Ukrainian drone attacked an oil storage depot in Russia's Kursk region, sparking a fire at the facility. There was no casualties after the attack on the depot. Russia's air defense system shot down a total of 9 Ukrainian drones over the Belgorod Oblast, Voronezh Oblast and the Black Sea waters. Russian forces also repelled multiple Ukrainian offensives in Kupiansk, Liman, Donetsk and other directions and struck Ukrainian targets including unmanned aerial vehicles, ground control points and surface-to-air missile systems. Russia launched new missile attacks on Ukraine, hitting infrastructure, damaging residential and commercial buildings and injuring at least 11 people in different parts of the country. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Hamas presented no new offer for a Gaza hostage deal and that Israel would not agree to its current demands. Israel said its special forces are operating inside Nasser Hospital in the southern Gaza city of Khan Yunis. It said it had credible information that the bodies of hostages taken on October 7 may be in the facility. Hungarians gathered in front of Presidential and Prime Minister's office in Budapest to protest against Viktor Orban's government after a presidential pardon scandal. Venezuela's Attorney General said that lawyer and human rights activist Rocio Mughal was arrested for alleged links to the conspiracy plot and attempted assassination of Nicolas Maduro and other high-ranking officials. Colombia added 8 aircraft, some previously used to fumigate drug crops, to its firefighting fleet as it braces for more dry El Nino weather. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese voted in favour of a motion in Parliament's lower house calling for the return of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange to Australia. The 44th Ordinary Session of the Executive Council of the African Union began at the AU headquarters in Addis Ababa with a call for increasing efforts to ensure continental stability. Taiwan defended the actions of its Coast Guard after 2 people on a Chinese speedboat, which got too close to a frontline Taiwanese island, died when their boat overturned while trying to flee a Coast Guard ship. The 60th Munich Security Conference is set to open on Friday, gathering global leaders, government officials, experts and private entities to engage in crucial discussions on pressing defense and security issues. US Vice President Kamala Harris arrived at Munich Airport ahead of the annual Munich Security Conference. Satellite images taken showed an oil spill off the shore of Tobago just a week after it was first spotted. First responders have been trying to contain the 12-kilometer spill. Turkish rescue teams were searching for 6 missing crew members of a 69-meter cargo ship which sank in the Marmara Sea off the coast of Turkey's northwestern Bursa province on Thursday. NATO defense ministers met in Brussels to discuss support for Ukraine and prepare the upcoming Leaders' Summit in July. A moonlander built by Houston-based aerospace company was launched from Florida on a mission to conduct the first U.S. lunar touchdown in more than a half-century. Japan will try again this weekend to launch its new flagship rocket, the H-3, in a bid to restore its space program after the boosters failed inaugural flight last year. Indian actor Allu Arjun represented Indian cinema at global market with special screening of the 2021 blockbuster Pushpa, The Rise at Barinel Fest. Indian actor Imran Hashmi announced that he has joined Adivi's Sesh-starrer upcoming spy action thriller Gudachari 2, whose prequel Gudachari carved its path to success, emerging as a blockbuster hit. Canadian actor Simu Liu, best known as the superhero Shang-Chi, is set to host the 2024 People's Choice Awards on Sunday. He is also nominated for the Movie Performance of the Year for his role as one of the Kens in the Barbie movie. Britain's Queen Camilla joined a star-studded celebration of Shakespeare in London. The Queen was hosted at Grosvenor House alongside famous actors. The cast of Bridgerton offered fans a glimpse of the latest season of the hit Netflix drama. Bridgerton Season 3 will launch in two parts, the first on May 16th and the second on June 13th. Actor Ben Mendelsohn has appreciated Christian Dior after his role in the new series The New Look, based on the famous designer. The New Look series will portray the lives and rivalries of legendary fashion designer Christian Dior and Coco Chanel. Hollywood star Will Smith will be seen in the upcoming high-octane action thriller based on Chuck Hogan's book Devils in Exile, titled Sugar Bandits. The British composing team who created the international hit musical 6 chose Valentine's Day to launch their latest album based on ups and downs of relationships. Popular Korean actor Shin Joo-hwan is going to get married next month. Skipper Rohit Sharma and Ravindra Jadeja slammed magnificent tons as India reached 326 for the loss of 5 wickets at stumps on day 1 against England in third test. Wicketkeeper Dhruv Jurel and middle-order batter Sarfaraz Khan were given their first test caps for India in the third test against England. Indian skipper Rohit Sharma will lead India in the upcoming T20 World Cup in June. Hardik Pandya will be his deputy. South Korea handed New Zealand a victory target of 267 on a tricky pitch on the third day of the second and final test after David Bedingham scored his maiden century. Sri Lanka cruised to a comfortable 7-wicket victory over Afghanistan in the third ODI to complete a 3-0 series whitewash. Patham Nissanka slammed 118 runs. The Indian women's hockey team lost their match against the Netherlands 0-1 in the FIH Hockey Pro League. Feli Salber scored the match's sole goal. Spanish tennis player Rafael Nadal pulled out of next week's Qatar Open as he has not recovered from a torn muscle he suffered last month. Australian Open champion Yannick Sinner eased past local favourite Botic van de Zandschulp 6-3, 6-2 in the first round in Rotterdam. In UEFA Champions League, Bayern Munich are beaten 1-0 at Lazio. Ciro Immobile's penalty gave Lazio a shock win over German giant Bayern Munich. Kylian Mbappe made a triumphant return from injury. He led Paris Saint-Germain's 2-0 win against Real Sociedad in Champions League last 16 clash. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Express News. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X and Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. From all of us here in New Delhi, thanks for watching Express News.